Thinking of moving to Qatar? It's an exciting journey, but let's be real. It comes with its fair share of challenges. In this video, I'm sharing the biggest struggles I faced as a newcomer and more importantly, how I overcame them. So if you want real talk, lessons learned, and tips to survive and thrive in Qatar, keep watching. Hi everyone, my name is Pearly Lilian and I have lived in Qatar for the past 17 years as of this vlog. In this video, I'm sharing the biggest challenges I faced as a newcomer and how I overcame them. Let's dive in. Qatar is an amazing country, but there's a side to it that almost no one talks about, especially for new expat workers. In this video, I'll share the hidden challenges I faced as a newcomer, the lessons I learned, and practical advice that could make your move smoother and more rewarding. I arrived in Qatar in late 2007. Yup, just a year after the Asian Games. Back then, Qatar was still a mystery to most people. When I told friends I was moving to Doha, they either asked, "Where is that?" or thought it was somewhere in Dubai. But the moment you land here, you'll realize it's a place transforming fast. Roads were under construction everywhere, real estate projects were rising like mushrooms after rain, and you'd hear jackhammers by day and cranes dotting the skyline by night. Lucky for me, I stayed with family friends who helped me adjust. They taught me how to dress modestly, speak politely in public, and follow local customs. Pro tip: always have someone to guide you during your first few weeks. Trust me, it saves you from embarrassing moments like accidentally waving at the stranger of the opposite gender and getting weird looks. At first glance, Doha in the morning looked plain. Everything seemed beige from the buildings to the sand. It was like the city forgot to use the color wheel. But come nightfall, wow, it turns into a glowing city of lights. Suddenly, you're surrounded by neon lights, shimmering towers, and beautifully lit mosques. It felt like I was in a completely different place. As a solo traveler walking around town in 2007, I got a lot of stares. Not scary, but definitely uncomfortable. Good thing I grew up in the busy streets of the Philippines, where you learn early how to walk with confidence, keep your eyes forward, and act like you know where you're going even if you're completely lost. Remember, Qatar is a melting pot of cultures. Filipinos, Indians, Egyptians, Kenyans, Nepalese, you name it. Each nationality brings its own cultural lens, so misunderstandings can happen. But if you walk with dignity and respect, people will usually treat you the same way. I came on a business visa, meaning I had only 2 months to land a job. 2 months of walking under the scorching sun, handing out printed CVs door to door. My shoes were my best friend and my worst enemy. There were days I'd sit on a bench and question everything. What am I doing here? Did I make a mistake? But one thing kept me going: faith and persistence. So one of my tips, guys, if you're job hunting in Qatar, come during the winter months like November to March. It's cooler and companies are more active in hiring after the summer slump. Once I got a job, I immediately enrolled in driving school. Back in 2007, public transport was almost non-existent. Just a few cargo buses, some taxis if you were lucky, and no ride-hailing apps yet. So, if you didn't drive, you were stuck. But here's the catch. Getting a driver's license in Qatar isn't easy or cheap. It felt like taking a college exam with wheels. And if you pass on your first try, congratulations! You're part of the 10% elite club. Today is much better. You've got the Doha Metro, cargo buses, Uber, and even those orange scooters if you're feeling adventurous. So, transportation today? Check. Much improved. Now, let's talk about the people. One thing I appreciate early on, most people speak English. even if it's broken. Sometimes you'll need to speak slowly or simplify your words just to get your message across. But there's no judgment. People respect whatever level of English you speak. Even if you happen to know Arabic, that's a huge plus. It earns you instant respect and opens more doors. As for food, let's just say it was a learning curve. I wasn't used to strong spices at first, so dishes like biryani and drinks like Karak were a challenge. But shawarma? Instant love. Lamb chops? Absolutely. Eventually, I learned to enjoy the incredible diversity of cuisine here, thanks to the many cultures living side by side in Qatar. One surprising benefit of working in Qatar is how accessible and efficient the financial system is, especially if you have a stable job. Opening a bank account is usually straightforward, and once you've established, borrowing from local banks becomes relatively easy. Personal loans, car loans, and even credit cards are offered quickly, and many expats are often surprised at how fast the approval process can be. This can be a huge relief if you're supporting a family back home or facing an emergency like unexpected medical costs, tuition payments, or home repairs. The fast processing is a lifeline during those times. But here's the catch. With that kind of convenience comes temptation. When you suddenly qualify for loans or high credit card limits, it's easy to fall into the trap of overspending. I've seen people max out their credit thinking the money would keep coming in easily, only to struggle later on. So my advice, borrow only what you need. Use it as a tool, not a lifestyle. Being financially smart in Qatar will help you not just survive, but thrive and go home with more than memories. And here are some truths I've learned that could help anyone relocating to Qatar or any new country really. Embrace the challenge. Every difficult moment is a stepping stone. Those sweaty job hunts, they taught me grit. Stay open-minded. Respect every culture you meet. You'll be surprised how much you learn just by listening. Then adjust, don't resist, whether it's language, food, or etiquette. Adjusting doesn't mean losing who you are. It means growing. And build your network. Relationships matter. One good connection can open doors, answer questions, or simply keep you sane. Looking back, my early Qatar journey wasn't smooth, but it was worth every struggle. I grew stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Life abroad isn't all glamour. It takes courage, patience, and a willingness to adapt. If you're thinking of making that big move, whether to Qatar or anywhere else, do your research, come prepared, and don't be afraid of the uncomfortable moments. That's where the real growth happens. If this video gave you insight or encouragement, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and drop your questions or story in the comments below. I'd like to hear what your Qatar journey looks like. Also check the description below for links to my other vlogs about moving to Qatar, visa processes, and life as an expat. Perfect if you're planning your journey or already settling in. Before I say goodbye, always remember that you have a very loving Heavenly Father and you can always count on Him. And this is why life is beautiful. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next one. Blessings!